Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi says India and Saudi Arabia ties have, quote, strategic depth and momentum. The comments come as Modi is set to kick off a two-day trip to the kingdom today to deepen ties with the country. Modi will meet with Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman to discuss defense, trade and energy at a time of mounting global trade uncertainty. For more, let's bring in Bloomberg's Anthony de Paola. Anthony, so Modi was just meeting with Vance, so now he's going to be obviously continuing with the trip to Saudi Arabia. What's on deck? What are we expecting out of his trip to the kingdom? It's been a few years since it was last year. Yeah, big meeting for Modi, big week for Modi. So perhaps one of the first things they'll do is compare notes on the U.S. visit, because of course we know that again Donald Trump's first foreign visit is again supposed to be to Saudi Arabia next month. We're looking at, but these things can all be confirmed. So they might compare notes on that, how the administration is dealing with trade, because that was for sure a big aspect of the Modi trip. We'll have to see if Trump ends up going to Italy for his first trip, because he said he was going to go to the Pope's funeral. So that will be one issue. But of course, there's huge amounts of bilateral ties between the two countries. Modi's also been here to the UAE, and they always go back with huge pledges of investment and investment back and forth between the two countries. So there's going to be a lot of issues that they can discuss between cooperation, be it on manufacturing, be it on energy, be it on other cooperation. There's also these plans to have a lot more transport and trade links between the two countries. So there's a wealth of issues that they can discuss. But what we'll be looking for is whether these things come out as MOUs, agreements to agree, or whether we do get any firm pledges of investment. Now, remember, we did have a recent visit with the Crown Prince going there and pledging lots of investments. So we'll have to see, also whether those are kind of recycled investments from that past trip, or whether we do see new initiatives coming out. Well, let's put on your energy hat. Talk us through the importance of Saudi energy exports to India. Obviously, they are a huge importer of oil from various nations. What do you think they may be looking to get out of this trip? Yeah, India, obviously a huge consumer, so they're very dependent on all those imports. They have massive export refineries, and what we've seen is the dynamic in recent years is India really taking in a lot of the Russian cargoes coming that haven't been going to Europe, taking those in and then exporting fuel back to Europe. So legal trade, for the most part, getting around some of those restrictions in Europe. And that's been to the detriment of some of the exports from this region. So we've seen Saudi exports decrease. We've seen some Iraqi exports decrease. So they'll be talking about that. You brought up Vance earlier. The U.S. obviously has been pushing for greater production from the Saudis, which isn't a position that's vastly different from India's. India, being such a massive importer, they've often been a critic of Saudi Arabia's efforts and OPEC Plus efforts to keep the oil price elevated, to maintain that price. They want, obviously, a lower price that has a lot of impact in their economy when they are able to bring those barrels in at less cost. They also do want to keep the Saudis on side in terms of that baseload, long-term, reliable supply, because, should things go back to, say, more normal in terms of Russia exports, if those exports are not as cheap, the Indians will look for the barrels that are the most affordable for them and the best for their economy.